Thank you again for coming to our session today. We're going to present here about the effects of short-term exercise on physical and psychological health in international students. But first, my name is Dr. Eric Keegan. I'm an assistant professor at Northwestern State University. I teach exercise physiology and other exercise science-related courses. And with me today is my colleague. I'll let him introduce himself.
Hello, good morning. My name is Jeone, and I'm an assistant professor at Northwestern State University. And my study area is neuromuscular physiology. And yeah, thank you for coming here. And I hope you can get something from our session. Yeah.
Well, yeah. So my interest is in elite runners. I study heat acclimation and acclimatization, so I'm more environmental physiology. But today we're going to talk about challenges that international students face. Myself, being an international student, I came to the United States as an athlete, so as a student athlete. So with that comes even more challenges than just being an international student. Since we're talking about exercise and benefits, so how long do you think, in minutes, would you work out to see any physical or psychological benefit? How long do you think you can exercise? 30 minutes?
10.
10 minutes. All right, so there's a variety of that. And another question is, what is one physical health benefit you get from exercise?
Low blood pressure.
Blood pressures, variable heart rate. Okay. What about one psychological benefit of you exercise?
Reduce anxiety.
Reduce anxiety, so psychological, right? Mood. So exercise has effects on mood. What is number one complaint people have that they don't exercise? Time, right? So the shorter the better, because we always want to be on our phone, technology and everything. So we don't have time to exercise. Time. Why should I exercise for 30 minutes? And if I tell you, if you only exercise for 10 minutes, you get the same benefit as somebody who's exercising for 30 minutes. Would that be okay? Because of time, right? But anyway, so that is revolving around what we're going to be discussing today. So you can imagine being an international student. Myself, when I came here in 2010, I was very excited. I came through JFK, and everything I knew was just in my mind. America is like beautiful land of milk and honey. We used to watch movies and we would watch music, and I used to like rap and hip hop. So when I landed here, anybody I saw black person there, and I would be like, that looks like Puff Daddy. Like I would be like, so in my mind I'm like, so it's like I'm so excited and everything. So, but things change. Things change very fast, and some of the things that it hit me was just culture. It's a new environment, you're meeting new people. I speak Kalenjin, and I speak Swahili as a national language, and then we took English, So even before when you apply as an international student, you have to do certain tests, such as TOEFL, testing of English as a foreign language. You come here. Another thing is technology. I grew up, in my high school, I never used a computer before. So you're here, and everything you have to submit. So the workload. So always actually put it in such a way that being an international student, it's almost like you're on constant on a treadmill. So it's always on a treadmill. Even after your 4 years, after all other challenges, you're thinking about how I'm going to adjust my status, immigration issues, language barrier, stereotypical. Are you a Kenyan? So you're a runner, right? Not all Kenyans are runners, right? So and literature shows that most international students actually are sedentary, and with sedentary, so it's like they don't exercise often, and with that comes a lot of other effects. So anyway, so today we're going to talk about what are the effects of short-term exercises, consecutive exercises, on their physical and emotional or psychological health. So just a quick background is a study that we did, and basically this is the rundown of how we're going to present this. So just as a quick background, what are the benefits that international students bring to the United States? And one is that I just found this graph, and you can see there's a constant increase of enrollment of international students since 2003, 2000. So when I came here 2010, it was literally almost 800,000, 700,000 international students. But you can see due to COVID, there was that slow dip down 2021, 2022, and then it's up again rising. But as most of you might know, here in the United States, most enrollment now it's going down, right? It's going down, but you can see that always the international students will always be applying to come to the United States because there's always more opportunities for them in terms of jobs, in terms of exposure. So what do they bring when they come and enroll here? So apart from fees that are paying, the boarding and all other costs that comes with you staying in the United States, you can see in 2021, 2022, international students spend around 33.8 billion. So that number has increased. So you can see, 2-3 years ago when we did this study, 2022, international students comprise of 4.6% of all students in the US. But now, that number has increased. So it was around 800,000 after COVID and everything. That number came up to over 1 million. So that means the revenue and economy also increased. It's almost 40 billion in terms of just the tuition and other tests that they did. So despite all these benefits of international students studying abroad, they economically and also the manpower and the experience they bring in workplace, they tend to face a lot of challenges. So when you come to a new environment, most of the time you don't come with your car. You don't have your family here. So you're worried. So how am I going to get to Kroger? Especially when I went to school in Tennessee. If you don't have a car, everything is far away. The bus system, the metro system is really bad. I grew up in Kenya not having a car. My parents didn't have a car. What are you going to do? When you want to speak, most of the time when you're new, back home, to make friends is very easy. So if I'm in class and I sit with you, naturally you become my friend. Here in the US, you can sit with a student for the whole semester without them talking to you. They're not your friends. So it's really hard for international students to make that connectedness, and that brings a feeling of loss, feelings of stress, you're feeling, it's just, with the culture shock too, technology. I told you when I came here, I had not experienced any using of technology and computers. And one other challenge is that you come there and you're always feeling that you're sinking because I remember telling my professors that, this computer, I've not used that before, but always they would refer into policy. The school policy says this. And sometimes you say, so what can I do? It takes me time. Can I get an extended time? They'll be like, no, for fairness, we're going to treat you the same as other students. And sometimes they will be like, maybe you can go to a disability access center. You go there, you find somebody and they will tell you, no, our policy says this. So despite all this, we want education, we want this, sometimes you just have to consider that international student. I'm glad in one of my classes last semester, I had a student from Japan, and she came to me and she said, I need some accommodation. And I'm glad Northwestern State University, where I am, they accommodate for international students. So sometimes they get the same, extra time to do the test. They need more time to prepare because it's hard. Because it's English, sometimes it takes time. English is hard, it takes time to try to, if you're writing a paper, it just will take you more time. So anyway, so that's why our purpose was to study and examine how, exercising would impact your physical health and your psychological health. So we recruited 6 international students around age 22 to 28. So we realized most international students, they may come here when they are a little bit older, maybe if they are graduate students. So we had them for around 8 days. So the first day was for familiarization, bringing them to the lab, showing them and telling them about, the informed consent, the risks and benefits that will come, the purpose of the study, and during that time, we measured some physical assessments, and that included the height, weight, BMI, and also we did a VO2 max test. So doing a VO2 max test is a very, it needs more expertise. Not many people will be willing to do VO2 max, but we did a submax test with that. So the submax test we did for VO2 max was using this formula as a step test. So it was a self-paced stepping test over, you can see that it is a 20 centimeter two-stair. So they go up, and then down in their self-paced 20 times. And then we will let them, we'll calculate the heart rate, we'll get the heart rate, and then just plug in their, based on their gender, if they are female, you can see we put 2, and if it is male, we had to use 1 and use that formula to calculate an estimated VO2 max. Okay, so that was more physical assessments. For psychological assessments, we used questionnaires. As you can see here, we had different questionnaires measuring their subjective experience. So basically, it's just a bunch of questions asking your experiences exercising, satisfaction with life, again, thinking about the life balance, workload, school, not having family here, so that satisfaction with life. So that quality of life, that's when you come here. I really like this health promoting lifestyle profile because with that, it actually looks at holistic approach, your spiritual, your social, your economical. So some of those questions was really great because it looks at holistic, again, it's not just like one thing. And then self-efficacy on exercises and fatigue severity scale. Do you feel always tired? Again, if you're sedentary. So there's all other health benefits that comes with exercising, and you experience that, your mood and things like that. So again, we did a pre-test, and then we had a training and a post-test. So we used SPSS to run the data, and we used a t-test to compare the variables between pre and post. So it was, again, just to run down. So they came, did the test. We did these physical and psychological tests, and then they did exercise for 5 days. And some of the exercises that they did included jumping jacks, burpees. So it is a circuit type of test. So it's a 5 rounds, so it's different sounds. So they had 2 exercises per round. So it took them around 20 minutes. But 5 minutes was warm up to get them psychologically ready, get blood flowing, and then they did exercise. So it was 5 rounds. It's a circuit, less rest, but different exercises, 2 exercises per round, and then 5 minutes of pull-up. And they did that for 5 days, and then on the last day, they came back and we did the physical test and again the questionnaire. And so the next one, I'll let my colleague to talk about the results, what we got.
Okay, again, my name is Jeone, and I will present the rest of presentation. So in the results, so for physical factor body weight results, here in figures, so x-axis indicate pre and post, y-axis indicate body weight. And as you can see, the body weight significant decrease after 5 days of exercise. And for body mass index, BMI, anyway, the BMI is the scale of obesity. So 30 or more BMI means obesity, and less than 30 is normal, right? So the result shows BMI significant decrease after 5 days of exercise. But the aerobic capacity, VO2 max, here, the result shows VO2 max tend to increase, but there was no significant difference between pre and post. And for psychological factor, the fatigue item in subjective exercise experience scale result shows significant decrease after 5 days of exercise. That means participants feel less fatigue, increased fatigue resistance. And physical activity item in health promoting lifestyle profile 2, the result shows significant increase. That means the participant feel more active or more energetic after this training. And exercise self-efficacy results show significant increase after 5 days of exercise, but other items in psychological factor tend to improve here, except psychological distress, but there were no significant difference between pre and post. And altogether, the short-term exercise, 5-day exercise can change your body composition, such as body weight and BMI, and also can change some of psychological factors, psychological health in international students. And this is because the exercise encourages participation in complex health behavior, which requires sustained effort and motivation. So there's a saying in Korea, in healthy mind, a healthy mind in a healthy body. So exercise can make your body healthy, right? And healthy body can affect your mind in a positive way. So exercise have many benefits, and also exercise can experience a boost of encouragement, motivation, and confidence. And also exercise can improve physical and performance level. However, the other factors did not significant change, such as aerobic capacity, fitness, psychological some factors such as positive well-being, distress, spiritual growth, and interpersonal relationships. And this may be due to the short period of exercise intervention, because majority of previous study performed at least 2 or 3 weeks of exercise to see any significant change. But this current study performed only 5 days. So 5-day exercise may not sufficient to change all variables. So in conclusion, short term only 5 days and short duration only 20 minutes. Actually exercise time is 10 minutes because first 5 minutes is warm up and the last 5 minutes is cool down. So only 10-minute exercise can provide positive effect for physical and psychological health in international students. And do you remember at the beginning of our session, you said 30 minutes, right? 30 minutes of exercise should be performed to see any benefit. But this study demonstrates 10-minute exercise can provide positive effect on some physical and psychological health. So
yeah, I just wanted to add something on that. Yes, again, what Dr. Jeone said is that those relationship. Sometimes you either pain, no gain, right? But our research shows that you can actually that might be a wrong. You can actually get benefits by just doing a moderate exercise test. When I say moderate, if I'm there with my friend exercising and I can still keep conversation with them, that's a moderate, okay? And there's other also recreational physical activities that can actually, if you're burning calories and you're sweating, those are good, you still get the same health benefits. You guys say number one, deter of you exercising with time. So what we say, let's say for example, you say 30 minutes. American College of Sports Medicine, ACSM recommends 3 to 5 days of moderate physical activity per week, at least 30 minutes to 60 minutes, okay? And that, you don't have to do all 30 minutes at once. You can say, I don't have time, but in the morning I can do only 10. And then at lunchtime I can do 10, in the evening I can do 10. You still get the same physical and psychological benefits that like somebody who just does 30 minutes at one time. Okay, so always encourage that. And also, so there's those recommendations. And as our exercise was circuit training, so it's high intensity interval training, and we could get all those psychological, health benefits, satisfaction, being motivated, and things like that. So we just.
Yeah, and there's some limitation of this study. So due to the small sample size, because we recruit only 6 international students, so the participants in this study cannot be generalized to population of international students in the entire United States. And also short-term period of exercise and absence of control group could be limitation. So do you have any
questions, comments, additions? Any contribution?
Yeah, and this is our reference.
Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.